What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. Today we are going to be reviewing Berzerkers, which is Buckshot and Mr. Gray. This project was released side by side with Operation Delirium by Mr. Gray. As of right now, of the time of me recording this, the only way to get a copy of this album is to get the 4th or 5th bundle that Operation Delirium has. It comes with a jersey, a USB drive, all kinds of goodies. So I'm assuming this album is eventually going to be released digitally, maybe in a physical copy for everybody. This is kind of like the deluxe that Buckshot does. If you've watched a recent episode of Beneath the Dirt, he had mentioned me reaching out to him, and we talked about how that's usually the case and how Buckshot does these kind of releases. So I assume this album will be eventually available for everybody. This album purely piggybacks Operation Delirium, so it's not a necessary release, but I also feel like it is a necessary release for the story that's being set up here. So let's go ahead and switch it over so you guys can see the artwork. There you have Buckshot and Mr. Gray. This one is autographed. If you haven't watched my Operation Delirium review yet, what I like about this is it has their names, and that's where it's signed at right there. So it doesn't ruin the artwork too much for me. Normally, I don't like autographs on the cover because, you know, to me it takes away from beautiful artwork. But since it has Buckshot and Mr. Gray on the front, they are the Berzerkers, and it being signed like that, it doesn't bother me as badly. Now, this case is fucking beautiful. I like the blue. I like the gold. I never expected those two colors to go good together, and I feel like they did. And they even added an extra fucking cherry on top. They signed it in gold and yellow marker, so it accents as well. Because right down here, this is all blue, and then yeah, it's all tied together. Like, so much extra thought was put into themes of these albums, and that's what Buckshot is killing right now. He is kicking ass with merch game and theming albums and building, you know, worlds, you know, MCU essentially. The mob style cinematic universe is basically what Buckshot is working on and building. So let's go ahead and jump in to the inside. If you haven't watched my review of Operation Delirium, I have a hunch and a theory or a feeling, I guess I would say, that the Berzerkers, the Operation Delirium, this story is kind of like a precursor into Cabal. These two characters look like a fucking executioner and a what was the other one? Fuck, I fucked it all up. I actually got this right here. I could just peek. Buckshot and the Butcher, that's it. The Butcher and the Executioner. These guys look like somebody who would butcher and execute, you know what I mean? So I just kind of have this feeling, this hunch, whatever, that these are kind of a precursor into Cabal. I'm probably 150% wrong with that, but that's just the vibes I'm getting. And there's references in this album right here to Cabal, and that's basically what sparked it in my head and made me go, you know, these characters, these figures, they make me think of an executioner and a butcher. So, yeah, let's pop it up into the inside. There you have that chaos symbol that I was just talking about. If that was the centerpiece on that jersey, I think that jersey would have been super sweet. Just being 100% honest, I'm not a big fan of this little design right here. I'm not fully feeling it. I don't know why. I'm not quite feeling it. So if this would have been the front, or maybe this would have been the front, which this is supposed to be Solomon, I thought that jersey would look so much fucking sweeter. I don't know what it is about the other design. I'm not feeling it. I just ain't. So we will pop the disc off. I didn't even do that on the other one. There's nothing to show on the other one. That's why. But yeah, this right here, I'm not fully feeling this at all. I don't know why. I'm just not. I feel like this chaos symbol is dope. It's definitely dope on his sleeves, so I feel like Solomon should have been the centerpiece of the jersey. Maybe a variant. Hey, maybe a variant someday. Come on, B. Be cooperative. Don't embarrass me in front of my friends. You know, it did this to me when I first got the CD too. We'll pull the book out to open it into the inside with your credits. Now this right here. This piece right here is the final track. Upon Activation is the name of it, in case you're wondering. So if you're curious what is said in that final track, or I mean, it's pretty easy to hear what he's saying, but this is everything that is said in the final track upon activation. So that's what tells me that this album, I feel, will potentially be available for everybody because it's setting up a story for projects coming in the future. So definitely, there's no way this is a one-off album that's not going to see a release for everybody. We will get that put back in there. Flip it over to the back with the track list, which is Solomon Says.
Hey, my corporal just passed me info that you wanted to have a word with me. I find it very odd having a conversation with a computer. So please understand.
Death Circus.
Welcome to the circus. Are you feeling safe? My purpose, leave your life worthless. Haters in the street, hunted by berserkers. I'm a hero.
Oxygen Thieves.
Berserker bone crusher, more dummies, more murder.
Dark Path.
We remain raw, enemies remain soft. I am going down a very dark path, deep underground. Rivals won't last. Listen to this.
Bottomless.
Fall into the void as the shadow rips. Another soul destroyed, and we the catalyst. Staring at the floor with the pieces of my soul. No bottom, no more.
Red Team.
Dancing with the devil, you can't fuck with berserkers, man. Buck said kill, so I had to kill shit. Like two shitty kids with too much to deal with. Kicking it.
Bullet Catcher.
Hunt, kill, search, destroy.
I see the target, sights lock on. Take on breath, squeeze the trigger, then it's gone. Berserker flow.
Terminus.
When I flow forsaken, you know there's no mistaking. It's the Allah's Louis Lou, you have no clue what you've awakened. This is more than entertainment. Some say I started.
And Upon Activation.
Hello, my name is Solomon. I have been commissioned by Dr. Diedrich upon his departure to explain the safety protocols of...
Now, as you can see there, it says that Terminus is actually a bonus track. I didn't realize this until talking to, it was Roan, yeah, from Beneath the Dirt. Terminus was actually released on the Attack of the Ninjas album last year. And my understanding is you could only get that album at that event. So, like, it being here, this brings it, like, it makes it more available for everybody. Terminus is Maelstrom off of Cabal, The Watchers. The beat for this one. Now, typically, you guys know I don't really care for remixes. But this version, I like so much more. The beat's, like, slowed down. It's a little bit darker of a beat, I feel. It hits a little bit harder. And I think the best part, too, is the ending it's not as abrupt as Maelstrom. Like, Maelstrom, you have Lee Carver saying, I probably don't even know ya, and then it ends. This has like some instrumental that kind of continues and then fades out. That gives the song a better close, I feel, and that's the other thing that I like about it. I just like this beat so much better overall than Maelstrom. A lot. Once again, it's only 9 tracks, so I will give my top 3 standout tracks and then give you my favorite. Bottomless, Red Team, and Bullet Catcher. Back-to-back fucking bangers, dope tracks. I want to give a little shout out, honorable mention to Dark Path, because in it, fucking Mr. Gray gives a shout out to Loki and mentions Cabal. And that to me, he's like, talk about the Watchers. That to me is what sparked the, like, is this a precursor to Cabal? So my favorite track out of the 3, pretty easy to tell, right? It's Bottomless. Low Key's on there. It's essentially a Cabal track. And if you haven't watched my Operation Delirium review, in there is some artwork for an album coming out next year called The Pit. Obviously, the chorus for this song, you have them saying The Pit. I think we may have the name of the next Cabal project. That's purely speculation. Or a future Cabal project. That's purely speculation on my part. But I really like this fucking track a lot. I really like this album a lot. But Bottomless, ooh, it's so good hearing the 3 of them together again. It has me fucking amped for more Cabal. Like, essentially, you have Dark Path setting up Cabal. You have a Cabal-like track, and then you have a remix of a Cabal track. Like, this feels so heavily pointing towards Cabal, for sure. That's what's got my mind going that direction. But like I said, this album, it piggybacks right off of Operation Delirium. In Operation Delirium, at the end, you had the two entities, the two experiments, they break out. Solomon says, Solomon, sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself there. At the end of Operation Delirium, they escape through the wall, and, you know, armies there, government, whoever, they're there. One of the soldiers tells the general there's a computer that is wanting to talk to him, and the computer's name is Solomon. It's an AI. This picks right up, and then you have the general going and talking to Solomon. The voicing, whatever they used for that voicing, it gave me Fear Factory vibes. And you guys know I'm a big fucking Fear Factory fan. If you go listen to their last album, Aggression Continuum, listen to that beginning track, listen to Recode. That sounds so much alike. It's crazy. It gave me chills, you know, gave me Fear Factory vibes. Obviously, Solomon's supposed to be AI. I'm like, yo, how dope would it be for Bukshot to hook up with Dino Cazares and them do a fucking, like, Fear Factory Man versus Machine type project? Crazy shit. But yeah, had to mention that because that gave me some fucking Fear Factory vibes for real. And Fear Factory, you know, Dino Cazares loves to do some storytelling with their albums. They theme their albums around man versus machine. Oftentimes, the machine ends up being society or the government, you know. So, I mean, what they're doing, what Bukshot is doing with this project, what he's setting up for this project, that's kind of where it seems like it's going. Is, you know, the Berzerkers are supposed to be... like, they're going and they're being the last defense between society, the people, and government. But there's a warning in there to not get in their way, you know. So, yeah, interesting where the story is going for sure. But I like the Berzerkers project. I like Operation Delirium. Like I said, this really piggybacks off of Operation Delirium, and I feel like this has to have a full release at some point in time. This is building a story that I don't think... this is building a story to where I don't think this is not going to see a bigger release where everybody can get their hands on it. So, if you do have a copy of this and you've heard it, tell me down below what you guys think about the album. And hopefully down the road this becomes available for everybody. And if you have gotten your hands on it now... and, you know, like, say it's 2 months later and it's been released for everybody, or 2 weeks later, come back, tell me what you guys think about Berzerkers, and what are your favorite tracks. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.